So when we look right here, this vessel in blue right here, which is carrying deoxygenated blood, and the purpose of this is to bring it back to the heart. So this deoxygenated blood is going to be known in this vessel right here called the superior sagittal sinus. So it's called the superior sagittal sinus. Remember how on that very first day I said to you guys that terms like sagittal, medial, lateral are going to be playing out throughout the rest of the semester? You can see why those terms are so important. So this right here is the superior sagittal sinus. The superior sagittal sinus is going to go posterior, and then it's going to go out in this direction. And the name of this sinus right here, that you can see right here, is known as the transverse sinus. So this is the transverse sinus here, and it's going to go laterally. So this is the transverse sinus. Okay? The other way that you can see the transverse sinus is internally. So here is the transverse sinus internally, from inside. Okay? Transverse. The transverse sinus is then going to branch, and it's going to move inferior. And it's going to form an S shape. And this S-shaped vessel right here is called the sigmoid sinus. So here is the sigmoid sinus. Sigmoid sinus. Okay. So this is sigmoid sinus. From the sigmoid sinus, it then is going to attempt to deliver again, blood, deoxygenated blood, back to the heart. But in order to leave the brain, it needs to go through a hole. And the hole that it's going to leave through is going to be in the shape of a jelly bean. Can anybody tell me the name of the hole that's shaped like a jelly bean?
Jugular.
Jugular, very good. And the vessel that's going to go through the jugular foramen is going to be the internal jugular vein. The internal jugular vein. And that's going to deliver the blood back to the heart. The internal jugular vein. So again, we have the superior sagittal sinus, transverse sinus, sigmoid sinus, which goes into the internal jugular vein. We don't have an internal jugular vein, but you should know that it drains into the jugular foramen, which is where the internal jugular vein is located. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, is the internal, okay, internal jugular vein. Does everybody get that? Okay, so that's delivering oxygen